Howdy folks, and welcome back to Frieren. Today we're going to be watching Season 1, Episode 4, which is titled, The Land Where Souls Rest. And I am really excited for this episode for a multitude of reasons. For one thing, a reference to a quote all the way back at the beginning of Episode 1, a quote that was attributed to some other mage. I forget what title they had, but definitely seemed to be a big deal in the realm of mages. I think their name was Flamme, F-L-A-M-M-E, something like that. And the quote was something like, "I found myself in Ariol, the land where souls go to rest." So I guess to talk about reason number 2 why I'm really excited for this episode is because this is the end of the first batch of Frieren episodes that were released all at once when this anime started. I didn't know that this is how the anime started. I try not to look up things like this before I start. I like to go in as blind as possible. But I have seen since then, checking out a couple other reactions to the first couple episodes, that a lot of other reactors did all 4 episodes all in one go. Obviously, they are much more ball knowers than I am, but you know, it would have taken me so long to get even that first video out had I watched all 4 and had to edit them all in one go. I don't think I would have had any of them out by now, actually. So here we are. You know, it is what it is. This is just how the reaction series went about. So I'm really excited to see kind of how this intro to the anime kind of kicks things off. I know people said that this whole intro 4 episode saga kind of thing really does a good job of setting up the anime and what we're doing. Honestly, if we were just like going from town to town with Frieren and whatever companion she has with her, just doing random stuff, I'd be perfectly happy with that. And we've gotten different shades of how those all could go. We had 2 very emotional episodes to start. We had a very action-focused episode last time in episode 3. So I'm really curious to see what kind of energy we're going to be getting today. But hey, just regardless, I guess reason number 3, you know, a bit of a superficial reason, but just that I'm really enjoying this show. It's a very good one. It seems to be, now that I've had a couple that have come out, it seems like the algorithm has picked up a little bit on these Frieren reactions, and a lot of new folks have been coming to the channel to check these reactions out, so thank you very, very much for those. Hope you're still sticking with me. I know I've said this the last couple, but now I actually have some evidence behind me to see that, you know, people are actually watching these and are digging the reactions, so thank you very, very much for that. Let's scooch over here and get ready to record this one, shall we? As I thanked you for watching the others, but, you know, thank you for coming back today for episode 4 to watch me watch this thing. Make sure you do all the YouTube things. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you see when more of these come out. Leave a like on the video, would you? It's free and it helps me out. I guess. I think liking helps with the algorithm. Certainly commenting does. Leave a comment as well. But as always, if you want to see this or any other Frieren video uncut, unedited, the next one a little bit early, there's a link to the Patreon down in the description below. Don't have to join, but if you want to support the channel a little bit extra and to get a little something extra in return. But as always, glad that you're just here watching on YouTube. With all that being said, let us get going with Frieren, Season 1, Episode 4, The Land Where Souls Rest. Starting up in 3, 2, 1, go. And once again, while this intro is playing, my tea for tonight, I am feeling a lot better since the last video that I recorded. Still, you'll probably hear a couple coughs now and again, but I'm feeling a lot better than I was last week. But still, my tea for tonight is throat coat tea. Because, you know, I could use a little bit of extra support. Why not? We all could, right? 28 years after so about a year after the last episode, it seems. I was seeing if any spells washed up on the beach. You have a cleaning spell? Oh no, she was here, wasn't she? It looks kind of like the one that Haiter had, right? Okay, there we go. Already picking up with Flamme. And I do love that somehow this is even less of a magic-based thing.
言われた通り勉強しているね。
Ah, okay.
偉いよ、フェルン。フランメの著書に本物なし。
Interesting.
これは敵の悪い
Okay.
偽物だ。
Well, like I said, at least we are learning more about Flam.
そうだね。これは自分のためだ。
Yeah, she said I know when they said these waters used to
また長い滞在になり
be...
そうですね。
Yeah, that's not a one-day job. Like I said, unless there is some aforementioned spell that she can just like just pick everything up, zoop it into a pocket dimension or something.
いつもありがとうね、フェルンちゃん。一つおまけしといたから。
ありがとうございます。
Oh, she's still wearing her hair clip from the last episode. 3 months.
この時期の海岸は冷えるから気をつけよ。
Frieren sticks her head out. She's like, I know. Oh,
まだ寝てる。こんなに散らかして。
I was gonna say, for a fake book, she still seems to be very into it. We can't clean up the beach because I keep cleaning up this room. Yo, the fact that Frieren is such like the fact that Frieren is like the worst morning person I've ever seen just seems so not befitting of her character, and it makes me laugh every time. Also, damn, if it's cold out, she kicked off all those sheets. Oh yeah, they do have spells. We saw this with like the pumpkins, right? They can just...
思ったのですが。何？フリーレン様ってもしかして
How'd you know my secret?
ご飯食べさせて服着せて。
And our room is always a mess,
こ
right?
れ私完全にお母さんですよね。
She's like, you can't be my mother. I'm 300 years older than you.
勇者様ご一行との旅はどうしていたんですか？
Himmel carried me on his back or something.
怒られたりはしなかったんですか？怒られたよ。
Yeah, but what are they gonna do? I'm the mage.
勇者様たちって寛大なんですね。
Also, who was it who got her in
あとは
trouble?
共に舌打ちしたくらいかな。ごめん。
Ooh, look at that shadow.
それ普通にブチ切れてますよ。
今日は順調ですかな。
あと3分の1ってところかな。
Okay, so they're...
新
Okay,
年祭までに
2/3
間
done.
に合いそうですか。
なんとかね。
ああ、でしたら今回はぜひとも日の出を見ていただけると嬉しいです。
Why would I? The only way to see the sunrise is to stay up all night.
この村では新年祭の日に日の出を見る習慣があるんだ。透き通るような海に日の光が反射して。フリーレン様は見なかったのですか？
Was that the day she
私が
overslept?
起きれると思う？
Yo, what... I wouldn't put it past this show to be like, that was the one day I got in trouble for oversleeping. Was when we were here and I couldn't wake up to see the sunrise. Himmel really wanted to show it to me. Himmel really wanted me to see it, to be a part of the group and everything, and I just overslept like I always do, right? And even though I'm laying this all out here, you know, with a bit of a smirk on my face, right? Like half joking, half serious. That's probably exactly what's going to happen, and I'm going to be sitting here just like with my hand on my chest, just like, oh, Frieren. I guess we'll see. But also, just while I'm paused here, just the fact that this is like maybe the most mundane of jobs that they've had, because, you know, for one thing, you know, back in episode 2, cleaning up the statue of Himmel, you know, that had they not stopped to look for the flowers, that would have been like just a one-day job, bing bang boom, get it cleaned up and you're done. You know, not a super, I want to say not a super important job in the grand scheme of things, but it was really important to Frieren, right? And we got a very good emotional moment out of that. But now here we are. It's just like we're just doing cleanup on this whole beach. Yeah, just a very mundane kind of like task for them, and a very, very large one, right? Because this obviously, like, they're there for 3 months. Obviously, they're there at the beach every day, picking up what they can. 3 months, and they are 2/3 done. That's a lot. That's a lot. All this for a fake book, right? And granted, like I said, it's probably the deeper meaning that I threw out there earlier. But I'm locked in. Like, even though it's like, even with the mundanity of, is that even a word? How mundane this job is. Like, I'm still just like super interested to like learn more and get more out of Frieren and out of Fern and all this stuff. And how does Fern feel about this? Because obviously, like, everywhere they go, they end up staying for months at a time, it seems. And, she seemed to have a bit of an issue with it, a couple episodes ago. But maybe after all this time, she's starting to get a little more used to it. She's like, oh, only 3 months this time. That's a short job. But anyway, let's get back to it. Nice. Luke Skywalker could never. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. And then a shipwreck just comes washing in. Just in time.
助かりました、フリーレン様。もちろん新年祭にも参加されますな。
All right, I guess we'll see how this goes.
起きですか、フリーレン様。太陽が昇る前に起きるんですよ。不可能でございます。徹夜するから大丈夫だよ。
That's exactly what I said. The only way to see it is just to not sleep.
興味はないよ。だから見て確かめ。
Interesting line right there. I'm not interested, which is why I have to do it. Or maybe she didn't get in trouble back then. Maybe she was just like, whatever.
なぜ新年祭に来なかったんだ、フリーレン。ハイターなんてショックのあまり寝込んでしまったぞ。
No, he just drank too much.
酒の飲みすぎでダウンしているだけだぞ。
Yep.
みんなは行けたんだからそれでいいじゃん。
僕たちはね、君にも楽しんでほしかったんだよ。
ただの日の出でしょ。楽しめるとは思えないけど。
いいや、楽しめるね。
Okay, well, she didn't at least get in trouble there, I think. Oh, no.
寝てる。フリーレン様、起きてください。ありがとう、フェルン。確かに綺麗だけど。
Damn.
早起きしてまで見るものじゃない。
I'll cross this off the old bucket list, though.
ヒンメルは私のこと分かってないな。
Ooh.
フェルン、帰って二度寝。
Aw, but look at her, though.
とても綺麗ですね。でもフリーレン様、少し楽しそうです。それはフェルンは笑っていた。
Yeah, Frieren was almost like, huh, take that, Himmel. I don't like it that much.
この日の出は見れなかったな。当たり前です。フリーレン様は一人じゃ起きれませんからね。
The land where souls rest. Yeah, it's because of her companions make her better, right?
何をしている？
祈っています。
人は死んだら無に帰る。
天国に行くんですよ。
死後の魂の観測ができないから実在を証明できないんだよね。
Okay.
いいと思うけどな。
Literally afterlife science here.
でも、たとえ実在しなかったとしても。
Yeah, it's nice to think and believe, right?
その方が都合がいいからです。
Convenient for you.
必死に生きてきた人の行き着く先が無であっていいはずがありません。
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, actually. All the booze you can drink.
おう。
Amen. Ooh, are we catching up with him? Oh, wow, we are. So this is around the same time.
アイゼン、遊びに来たよ。
30年ぶりとは思えん態度だな。
It's been 28. Get it right, Eisen.
何か手伝ってほしいこととかってある？
フリーレン、ハイターにも同じようなことを聞いて。
And then next thing he knew, he was dead.
お前がそっけなさすぎるんだ。
で、あるの？手伝ってほしいこと。
She's trying at least.
来たことあるのか？
昔ね。
昔って言ったぞ。どれだけ前なんだ？
原始時代でしょうか。さすがにそこまで長生きじゃない。
Yo, Frieren with the dinosaurs? I want to see that episode, actually. That'd be tight as hell.
大魔法を使い、フランメの手記だ。
Okay.
フランメの著書はほとんど。
I mean, but what if they're real this time?
手がかりはある。本物の手記はフォルボン地のどこかにある。フリーレン。
I mean, that is
お前なら
a...
知っているはずだ。
That's a lot of land to check.
わかった。まずは大きな木を探そうか。
時間なんていくらでもあるのか。
But what? Fern?
でもフェルンが嫌がるから早めに終わらせよう。
Oh, okay.
変わったな。 お前は人の時間を気
We'll
にするような
take it in a grid pattern.
だってフェルン怒ると怖いんだよ。
Was that the Frieren angle? Was that the mystical angle that just happened? I said I was on the lookout for it, but oh damn, yeah, he is still strong. Oh, the sour grape spell. I called that out last time. Yo, nice. Yo, despite the fact he's old, like Aizen still has like that goofy ass look on her face. Every time it makes me laugh.
フリーレン様、西の方に遺跡を飲み込んだ大樹がありました。
Like I was starting to say, even though he's old, like he still got it. I know he said he was too old to swing an axe, but look at him jumping around, running on water.
30年前のあの日、お前はヒンメルを知っておけばと口にした。あの言葉、ヒンメルに直接伝えてやるべきものだ。
In the land where souls go to rest.
を使いフランメの式には死者と対話したという記録が残っているとされている。
Oh man, any kind of current day reunion between Frieren and Himmel is gonna destroy me, I think.
だからハイターと相談した。お前はきっと後悔しているだろうから。
We made this little scavenger hunt for you, Frieren. Anything? Is Totoro in there?
大樹も遺跡も強力な結界で守られていて、
Well, if anyone can get through it.
1000年も前のことなのに、結局私は先生の手。
I'm still dancing in the palm of my master's hand. So
そうでもね。
so she trained under Flam? Oh shit.
こいつが成長すれば、1000年だろうがこの場所を守り続ける。
I saw her in the intro.
って死んでるでしょ。
だがお前は違う。
Okay, so she wasn't even an elf. Interesting.
おかしい。人を知りたいと考えるよ。
Damn, she did. Yo, she is a legendary mage. She has the oracle powers.
その時はここに帰ってこいって言ってんだ。
Yeah, this place was literally waiting for her, and there it is. Holy shit. She's like, nah, it's a fake. Just like throws it behind her.
本物だよ。なぜわかるのですか？
フリーレンはフランメの一番でした。
Yeah, she would know.
カイフランメって魔法史に出てくる大昔の英雄ですよ
Yeah,
ね。
and Frieren is ancient.
本当に原始時代から生きてるんじゃ。大陸の遥か北の果て。
Also, I love that Flam is
この世
considered
界
the
の人
legendary
々が
mage,
天国と呼ぶ場所。
even though Frieren
魂の眠
has...
る地、オレオールにたどり着いた。
Yeah. I'll talk about this. I feel like this episode's about to end. Ah, there's still a good amount left. All right. I love that Flam is considered like the legendary mage, even though what they said about 1,000 years ago, and Frieren has been walking around since then, collecting spells, presumably is probably the single most knowledgeable person alive right now, at least to my knowledge, just by sheer magnitude of the amount of time she stayed alive, the fact that she studied under Flam, her special interest is collecting spells. Like, she is probably the single greatest living repository of magical knowledge. And yes, I know she said that there's like magic research academies and all this stuff, but I think it's interesting that Flam is considered this legendary mage that everyone knows about, and Frieren is just like, for lack of a better term, just a guy that like going from town to town, like, hey, anyone need any help? I'm here to help. And it's not like oh shit, it's Frieren who has like every spell. She can make tea out of nothing. She can even turn grapes sour. It's just like, oh yeah, you. I mean, if you're looking to help, like, sure, clean up this beach or whatever. It's not something you would really ask like one of the most powerful. Like if Flam herself showed up, you wouldn't say like, oh, could you go clean up that beach, right? And I think that's so interesting that just like, obviously Frieren didn't care about such things and didn't want the titles or the fame or anything like that. Yet here she is like following in the footsteps of, you know, Himmel the hero that everybody loved, that she traveled with, that she's just doing her best to like retrace his steps and learn more about him. And, you know, this legendary mage as well. And like I said, she's just a guy at this point. And I think that's so interesting to me. That just if Frieren's attitude was just slightly more so tuned one way than it currently is, that like she would be literally on top of the world, like not even necessarily lording over. She probably would be at the head of like every magical research thing, right? And that's just so interesting to me that she's just like content to do what she does. Really, really interesting stuff here.
天国はある。その方が都合がいいだろ。
Yeah, that's what Heiter said, right?
たまには信じてみるか。具体的にはどのあたりなのでしょうか。
All right, is it like a physical place?
北部エンデ。
Okay.
エンデって今は魔王城がある場所だ。
Oh, is the Demon King in heaven?
オレオールを探してヒンメルと話すんだ。
Yeah.
俺を手伝ってくれるんだろ。
This is what I need help with.
悪知恵をつけたね、アイゼン。
You corrupt dwarf.
どうせ当てのない旅だ。で
And now I do.
魔王城のあたりってめちゃくちゃ寒いんだよね。行きたくないな。
Damn. Just because it's cold? You just spent all winter on a beach cleaning up shipwrecks. That was cold.
言ってしまいました。
のんきなものだ。
What is her deal?
魔王城のあたりってそんなに寒いんですか？
魔王
Flashback?
城のあるエンデは大陸の最北端だからな。
Yeah, it's literally Journey's End, right? It ended in end.
そろそろフリーレン様起こそうかな。
Yeah, because that goes so well for you all the time.
なあ、フェロン。そいつはいい師匠か。
The hard-hitting questions.
よくわかりません。ただひたすらに魔法を求めて旅をして振り回されてばかりです。
Look at that look on her face.
ヒンメル様たちを知ろうとすることには興味があるようですが、とても不思議な人なんです。旅を始めてからは誕生日にプレゼントをくれるようになったんです。
Even when it wasn't my birthday.
フリーレン、君はオートには残らないのか？
旅を続けるよ。
一人でか？
気楽でいいでしょ。
弟子を取ったりはしないのか。
You know how they die in battle.
フェルン。そいつはいい師匠だ。
Yeah. She kept you around. You really changed her.
まずはビレ地方、リーゲル峡谷を抜けて北側諸国の関所だね。
長い旅路になる。俺たちは10年かかった。
Who knows how long it'll take you?
そうか。ヒンメル様たちが魔王城を目指した道のりと。
Oh wow, we really are retracing the exact path. This is really interesting.
そうだね。たった10年の冒険だよ。
Wow. Man. Man, I'm assuming that while we're on the path to get up there, we're gonna have a lot of stops and a lot of meandering, probably, right? Assuming it's gonna be a lot more than 10 years. Just because of the nature of Frieren, that it's like, it's not. Back then, presumably, it was super pressing, right, to deal with the Demon King, to get to his castle, take him out, save the world, basically. Whereas here, we don't have that same sense of urgency. So why would Frieren take so long, right? You know, and just who she is, you know, her new outlook on life. I gotta help someone in need. It's what Himmel would have done, right? She is gonna be, oh man, how long is Fern gonna be like an old lady by the time they finish this? Is she gonna be like, you know, I say an old lady, but is she gonna be what? She's what, like 16, 17 right now, I think. I know she said birthday. You know, they've been together for a couple years anyway. She was, I think, like 13 or 14, I think, when they first started. I know they said a couple episodes ago she was 16, and a year or two have passed since then. So she'd be about 17 right now, I think. But like, I know they say a 10-year voyage. and that would put her at about 27. But who's to say, like I said, that they don't just like stop and spend a couple months here in this town helping somebody, a couple months here, a couple years there. Next thing we know, like, you know, Fern could be in her 50s when they're finishing this, right? She could be just as powerful as Frieren, right? After all that time. And they brought up the point, is Frieren a good master? And Eisen said, yeah, she is. But just as Frieren learned under Flam, now Fern is learning under Frieren. And just given all that time, if Flam herself, seemingly just a human, I mean, I didn't see any pointy elf ears. They said she lived 1,000 years ago. You know, she died. She's remembered, right? If Flam in her short lifetime, presumably short lifetime, can accrue that much power and be considered this legendary mage, like the best of the best, the very best that ever was, to use a Pokemon quote, who's to say that Fern can't do the same? Frieren did even say when Fern was just, still just a very small child, she has incredible control over her mana. She's very naturally gifted. Who's to say that just like all this time spent, by the time she's in her 40s, her 50s, she's not just as powerful as Flam? And, like we said last time, as much as magic has progressed, even within the last 80 years or so, who's to say that, just the sheer power level that Flam is remembered as this incredible legendary mage, but like it's peanuts compared to what we have, right? Just thinking about, look at sports records and stuff, like anything over time, like people consider the best of the best at stuff, like ain't shit compared to today, right? So I think that's so interesting. And like someone who has been alive this long in Frieren, who can see these things, but just kind of doesn't care about them. I mentioned earlier about her, like if her attitude was just slightly tweaked in a different way, she'd be like one of the most powerful people in the world, like not even necessarily lording her positions of power, but just like would be in high up ranking positions of power. And the fact that she's not is one of the most interesting facets of the show to me. But who's to say Fern won't be different, right? It would be funny if Frieren just kind of sucks, but she's been going at it so long that she's just like learned how to be good. But someone like Fern, who's naturally very talented, sky's the limit for her. Literally, they have the flying spell that they use a lot. So I'm really curious to see how this goes. Obviously, there's a lot of the show to go, but we have seemingly our main quest in front of us. We have to find the place, and it is just like I said. We have to find Oriel, or however it's pronounced, the place where souls go to rest, and we need to have another conversation with Himmel. I'm wondering, is the Demon King there? Are we gonna have a Final Fantasy II situation where you kill the guy here on Earth, and then the guy goes and takes over Hell? Because it's a 40-something-year-old RPG at this point, I think. But that's what happened. You kill the Emperor and you're like, yay, we did it, we won. And then he's like, now I've taken over Hell and I'm the most powerful being and I'm coming to invade again. Who's to say that the Demon King isn't going to do that? And we, just as we're retracing our steps to get to his castle for this one other purpose, we might have to fight him again. We might have to retrace our voyage up to the point where we actually have to fight the Demon King again. We already had a little bit of that in the last episode when we had to deal with what's his name? The one guy, the Zoltrak guy. I forgot his name. But we, the fact that that was something that was left from the journey back then that now we had to deal with again. Who's to say that the Demon King, right? But yeah, lots ahead of us. Lots of, it's going to be a very long journey, like I said. Lots to happen. Some chill times ahead, probably some action ahead as well. A little bit of everything we're getting here in this show. But as I said up front, I'm loving this thing. I don't think I have too much else to say. Just a lot of gushing about just character stuff, like shows that are essentially just character. What's the word I'm looking for? Like just character studies. That's what I'm looking for. Just shows that are just complete character studies, that yes, they have a plot, but like the main focus is learning about this character and what makes her tick and how she changes over time. I haven't had a show like that in a long time that I've watched on the channel, maybe ever. Given how selective I've been, it's a lot of just like kind of plot stuff, less so about the characters themselves. But you know, here we have it on full display. The most blatant I've ever seen it in a show I've watched, and I'm absolutely here for it to kind of do the analysis and talk about the characters and all that kind of stuff. But hey, I think I'm out of things to say for today. So what did you think of this episode? Now that I've gotten past this, the last of the intro episodes, how did you feel about the show at this point? I know some of y'all said you discovered Frieren and it was love at first sight, almost immediately saying it's one of the best things you've ever seen. I'm very taken with the show. Very glad to finally be watching it. But I just want to hear what you have to say, especially after this episode, kind of learning what we're going to be doing. Like, were you a little disappointed that it's like, okay, now we have a main goal in mind, or were you more so a fan of the big meandering? Like I said, I have a feeling that we're going to get a lot of that in general as we meander. We're going to be meandering towards our main goal. I think the point here is to kind of just wander a little bit. Hey, we'll just see as we go. But like I said, I think about it, things to say here. So don't forget to leave a like on your way out and come back next time for the next episode of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I just said Frieren at the beginning, like I said I was going to do last time, and it still felt a little too short. But now here at the end, I think I need to finish these videos by saying Frieren Beyond, the full title. So come back, as I already said, come back next time for the next episode of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Take easy, everybody.